Good day, Father Matt Williams here in my parked car. Look at no snowbank, but you gotta look a little higher, but I've tried to find some clean, fresh snow. Okay, beginning with the end in mind, we are focused on becoming saints. The first letter, S, in the acronym for saints, is self-mastery. Yesterday, we talked about our raw materials, our temperament, that self-knowledge is such an important thing if we're going to become saints, because we have to know what are the God-given gifts that he's given us and the virtues that come natural to us, but also the challenges in our human nature, the struggles, the vices that we need to have purified and we have to master, right? And build virtue around those so that we can become saints. So we don't become slaves of our desires, right? So we want to become saints. So we got to build virtues around that. There's a beautiful axiom in the life of the church, and this is an ancient axiom. It goes like this: grace builds on nature. In other words, what that means is that God's grace doesn't come in and annihilate our human nature. It's like when you're baptized, all of a sudden all of your inclinations to sin and all your struggles go away. No, it's that God gives us the grace and we have to cooperate with that grace, beg God for that grace to help transform our desires, to transform, enlighten our mind, strengthen our ability to love, strengthen us to overcome our desires, self-mastery, okay? So God's grace comes in. So like the night before I was ordained, I'm like, Lord, I really want to become a morning person, right? Well, guess what? I'm ordained. Do you think like the next day I become a morning person? No, because grace builds on nature. I have to now start to live a more disciplined life, going to bed a little bit earlier so I can get up earlier. Otherwise, my nature is going to be like stay up late and get up late, right? So God's grace builds on nature, okay? So this is really important reality. If we're going to master ourselves, right, self-mastery, we're going to be more disciplined. If we're going to live a life of virtue, right, we have to know the raw materials God gave us, and then we have to beg God for the grace that we need to cooperate with to overcome our weaknesses, to build virtue, okay? So grace builds on nature. Know yourself and beg God for the grace to live the virtues that he's calling you to. Last point, why do we do this? Because of God's great love for us. Father Ed Riley put out this beautiful tweet. He said, oftentimes we think that Lent is about what we're doing for God and we miss the boat. And he says, Lent is really about us reflecting on what God has done for us. And then he says, Lord, forgive me for that. It's all about what he has done for us. And our response is always a response to the love that God has for us. And because of that great love, we desire to master our weaknesses. We desire to be more disciplined. We desire to live virtuously. We desire to embrace self-mastery. The journey, the road, the beginning to becoming a saint. God bless you.